Hello, folks. Thanks for tuning in to TD Talks. Today, TD Talks Tariffs, along with the rest of the world. Everybody's talking tariffs, but I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'll tell you this. I found it a little ironic that the tariffs were announced from the White House Rose Garden. If you've never been there, you got to go. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful. But I found it so ironic that the tariffs were announced from the White House Rose Garden because things aren't so rosy. They're not so rosy. I mean, the stock charts are rosy red. We don't like that. Not huge fans of that, but the stock charts are rosy red. So I just found a little irony in that with the way things have turned out. Here's my take. Here's my take. If you're 3+ years out from retirement, if you're 3+ years out from retirement, if your horizon for retirement, the age by which you intend to start taking income from your assets, if that horizon is more than 3 years out, in my opinion, this could be the best buying opportunity or rebalancing opportunity that we have for a very long time. And I don't know if the discounts will get even bigger, if we'll see it slide even further. I don't know. But as of where we stand right now, this could be the best buying or rebalancing opportunity we have for a very, very long time, in my opinion. If you're within 3 years or you're in retirement, this could get ugly. This could get ugly if, here's the follow-up, if, and I'm saying that with a capital I and a capital F, not even in Times New Roman, because that's boring. Capital I, capital F, if you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, this could get ugly. If you have a plan, you're probably like, well, yeah, I'm built for this, though. My plan's built for this. If you don't have one, suggest you talk to somebody. Suggest you talk to a fiduciary advisor and get a plan together, because this could get ugly. When I'm thinking about retirement income planning, in my philosophy, I want to know, what income do we need to live life? And how much of living life do you want to be, fixed income, not tied to the market? How much of your ability to fund and live your retirement life do you want to be guaranteed or very confidently funded and not tied to variable assets? So if I think of it this way, if somebody says, hey, look, I need 6,000 a month to live in retirement. I need 8,000 a month to live in retirement, whatever the number is. I want to know, how much is coming in from Social Security at the age you take it? How much is coming in? And what is the net amount? Whatever that net amount is, I want to figure out, how do we get that after-tax income from a non-stock correlated asset? Could be bonds, could be annuities, whatever it may be. I want it coming from something that's not tied to the market. The rest we can leave in the market. Let's let it grow, do whatever you want to do, donate it, whatever you want to do. But the base living expenses, what you want to be confidently funded to live life, we want it coming from non-stock correlated assets, in my opinion. That's just my thought when I'm talking to somebody about retirement income planning and having an actual plan. Growing stuff is one thing, turning it into income is another. Because I tell you, I don't think it's really to be considered financial freedom or an abundant life or any way to live to go, well, we should book a Disney vacation. We should go on a Disney cruise. We should go do something. We want to take the children and grandchildren. It's what we love to do. It's who we love to be with. Let's plan a trip. Oh, wait. Yeah, CNBC says I can't do that. Based on what I'm looking at, I don't want to generate the cash from assets at this point. It's way down, and then it's not going to be there to grow back. I got to wait. Now I got to defer life. I got to defer how big I live life because I don't have a plan. That's no way to live. Being a prisoner to your portfolio is no way to live. That's no way to live. So those are my thoughts there. On the topic of tariffs, I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be worse. I thought it was going to be like dollar for dollar. Anything that a country charges us, we were going to charge them. I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest with you. I think the market sentiment reacted as if it was that way. I think it's a bit of an overreaction based on what I think the long-term benefits could be, but that's market sentiment. Right now, I think we're in a non-recessionary bear market where economy is good based on what we're looking at, but sentiment is down. And that's mainly due to a lack of clarity. It's due to a lack of clarity. People don't know how it's going to play out, so they want to sit on the sidelines, get out of the game a bit, take some risk off. the way you view that, I think in those time horizons, like I talked about, beyond 3 years and within 3 years, you take it, that situation, you approach it based on your situation and have a plan. Um, I thought it was going to be worse. So the fact that it's roughly around 50% of what other countries are charging us, I think is not as extreme as I thought it was going to be. And to be honest with you, um, read a history book, look at the old clips that are coming up of politicians, over and political leaders and presidents and senators and congressional leaders over the past 20, 25, 30 years. They've all been talking about how we need more balanced trade and how it's, the level of imports that we do and the things that we outsource to other countries is they evaluate it as, dangerous and too dependent on foreign countries. Both parties have been arguing that for 20, 25, 30 years. Now something's been done about it, and maybe they don't like the way it's been rolled out or the way that it's been implemented, and clearly the market doesn't. Um, but nonetheless, they've been talking about how it gets done now. Whether you like the way it's been rolled out or don't like the way it's been rolled out, that's up to you. The time will tell. Time will tell. And I think we'll see benefits long term, but it's going to take some time to get through the short term sentiment. Now, last thing I want to talk about today on TD Talks is perspective. Is perspective. So I'll tell you this: the day after T Day, yesterday, in that morning, I was taking my wife to her OB appointment. It's one of our last ones. It's one of our last ones. It's bittersweet. It's one of our last ones. And we've had horrible storms, tornadoes, hail, everything here in Kentucky. And so I take her to the doctor appointment, and it's pouring rain. It's ugly. And I take her up right to the door, right under the overhang, right to the door. You got to be a gentleman. Drive to the door and walk yourself. Take her to the door. So I take her to the door and I go park in the garage and I go to walk over. And when I get to the main building, they say, "Sir, you can't take the elevator up. We've had water damage in this elevator, and you're gonna have to walk over the next wing and do rock, paper, scissors to get them to let you up to the wing you need to get to." I said, whatever it takes, I'll be there. But the whole morning I'm distracted. I'm distracted because my phone's going off with notifications from Wall Street Journal and Barron's and CNBC and all the rest. And, you know, I'm distracted by that. And I'm thinking, what can we be doing? How can we how can we be two steps ahead? How can we work through this and make the most of it? Not how do we get afraid by it? How do we make the most of this market? But anyway, my mind's there. Well, in order to get to where I needed to go for her OB appointment, taking a different route, I had to walk through the oncology unit. Anybody who's ever been in an oncology unit knows exactly where I'm going with this in terms of perspective. I've had family members in oncology units, friends, friends of friends. If you've never been in one, go walk through one. But I've been in them with family members. It's the worst. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's the worst. And so I'm walking through that. And while I'm like, distracted by all this news and these external things and whatever else, I notice everybody in there is not distracted. Everybody in there in that oncology wing, they're hooked up to machines, surrounded by family. They're being wheeled down the hallway, hooked up to a machine, holding hands with family, hugging. Saw a child there hooked up with parents. And I was thinking from a perspective thought process, these people aren't distracted. These people are keeping the main thing the main thing. These people aren't thinking about what's the S&P doing, what's our trade deficit with some other country, how's this going to shake out. They're keeping the main thing the main thing. And it made me remember something I've been taught a long time in my life by great mentors is you get to control the station in your mind. And you get to choose what you let affect you or not affect you. And it was a reminder to me from a perspective thought process that these people in that wing, which I've been in before with family, they're not distracted. They're only focused on the things that really matter. They're not distracted by charts and news and all that sort of stuff. They're keeping the main thing the main thing. And that's what they're putting their emotion into. They're not letting their emotion and their heart be affected by these external things, which are short term, by the way. We've seen it time and time again. They're not getting all tore up over these external things. They're keeping their mind and their heart on keeping the main thing the main thing. which is life, the preciousness and abundance of life and family and love. They're holding hands, they're hugging on each other, they're not distracted. And so, if you've got health, if you've got family, if you've got a roof over your head, if you've got food on the table and people to sit around that table with and hold hands and hug on and love on, you're doing well. You're doing very, very well. So don't let these external short-term things dictate how you feel about life, which is the main priority. So thanks for tuning in today to TD Talks. Hit the subscribe button so you get a notification every time I share these, and I'll see y'all soon. The views and opinions voiced in this podcast are solely the views and opinions of Taylor Davis and do not reflect the views or opinions of any other entity or organization. The content provided is for informational purposes only and is not meant to be specific investment advice for any individual. Please consult with your financial advisor to address your unique circumstances. Taylor Davis does not provide legal or tax advice.